Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and this is our weekly TV news show. Now, last week we did our show earlier in the week due to some scheduling things a week before, and because of that, we have a slightly bigger episode this week. Plus, it's New York Comic Con this weekend, which also gave us a few extra tidbits.
Yes, stuff happened.
Yeah, so I have a lot of pages of news.
Great.
I don't know if I've hit this number before. This might be a first.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I can't remember what our record is for pages of news, but
I don't think we've ever got as far as 20, if you're anywhere near that.
no, I'm not at 20. Jesus, I'm at 13.
Well, we've definitely been in the teens before.
Okay, all right. I don't remember, but I'll take your word for it. You're clearly more traumatized by those long episodes than I was.
Because they always seem to happen, like, right as like when we haven't got the time for the really long episodes.
Yeah, well, if you hadn't fallen asleep last night and we recorded at the regular time, it might not have been an issue.
I mean, it would have only cut out a few things.
A few things, but hey. So yeah, Connor's going on vacation next week though, so there'll be. I'll explain more of this at the end of the show as to other stuff that's affecting and what we're going to do with it with him being away. But it does mean that next week there will be news of some kind with just me, and I will do my best to entertain you with some tidbits on my own. But that's what's happening.
Yeah. Sounds rough.
Wow.
No.
I don't know. They might like it more. They might even request that you don't come back for the news.
Fine.
Speak up, people.
See if I care.
Vote with your comments. Every time I get a comment saying ditch the ginger, it's like, warms my heart.
Yeah. I bet it does.
Anyway, so we got a lot of TV news to get through, so we'll be diving straight in, and there's still something we actually did a second take of the intro because I had something in my eye the first time and it was distracting me so much that
I said being a real unprofessional bastard.
I said a lot of gibberish. Look, I get things in my eye, alright? It's like a medical condition. It's a thing.
It's not a medical condition, it's called dust.
You've had chronic hiccups. Chronic hiccups. I can't have chronic things in my eye. Come on now.
Mine is a medical condition. Yours is you just haven't cleaned enough, and now there's dust.
No, mine is I have 3 cats, and the dust piles up rather quickly compared to most households.
Therefore, you should clean more often.
I really should.
See?
So sometimes it's funny when it builds up a little bit, and you get like a little tumbleweed of dust, like the old westerns. You get a little tumbleweed.
Mm-hmm.
Because the cat hair kind of balls up into a little ball. It's fun. Anyway, let's talk about news then. Let's talk about news. We have a lot of dates. We have a lot of trailers for things. A lot of these trailer links will be in the description. I will put them in. I promise. I'll make the effort to put all these trailers in.
You're saying you'll remember.
I'm saying I'll remember. Unless we don't talk about the trailer, in which case I had no reason to have the link. If I just mention there was a trailer and we don't talk about it, there'll be no link for that because I don't have it.
Yeah. And if none of them are there, he just forgot.
Yes. No, that's not happening. It's happening. Look, trailers are happening. The links are happening in the description. So I have a lot of premiere dates and trailers, and because they came in at a weird order, and because some things had both a trailer and a premiere date, and some things only had one or the other, they're all just in one big section, right? Normally I'll have premiere dates and then I'll have trailers. Because a lot of these are both, some are only one or the other, they're just all kind of in a jumble.
If you cared, you'd have ordered them properly so that it flowed.
Like 3 or 4 of them are like last minute additions because New York keeps shoving us things, alright? Give me peace.
There's probably more already.
They're all thematically kind of linked by the fact that they're all trailers or dates. They're one or the other. Or both.
Trailers or dates. Yeah, okay, fine. See, what you should have done is dates, trailers with dates, and then just trailers.
Piss off. First up, we got a trailer and a premiere date for Daredevil Season 3. I don't have the link for this one because we didn't feel the need to watch this. I actually did skim the trailer briefly. I just wanted to see if there was anything notable. And it's basically Kingpin's the big bad this season, and
he's in his white suit, isn't he?
There's a copycat Daredevil going around.
Cool.
So, it's the thing. But that's coming October 19th. Now, we gave up on the Marvel Netflix shows. We couldn't finish Jessica Jones Season 2. We couldn't finish Punisher Season 1. So we stayed away from Luke Cage. We stayed away from Iron Fist. And while, yes, some of the best of the whole thing has been the first 2 seasons of Daredevil. Well, the first season and a half of Daredevil.
Season of third.
Okay, sure. It was exactly 4 episodes. After episode 4, season 2, it went downhill. But I'm still out. I think we're just for sanity's sake.
I mean, it says a lot that I don't even care enough to watch this. This trailer's been out close to a week because we got this a little while ago.
Maybe I can't remember.
I think no. The date was close to a week, and the trailer was maybe three days ago. It was definitely been a few days because I've seen it posted, and I didn't even care enough to watch it.
Yeah. I think we just lost interest in the Marvel Netflix stuff, and it was a piled on thing, and we're at a point now where we don't even really care about the trailers for these new shows. So, it's the thing. But if you do care, and if you're into it, you get it October 19th. Also, that's a really busy time for us to slot in another Netflix show, because I'll be doing Haunting a Hill House starting on Friday because you're away on vacation, and then after you come back, so the week after this, Daredevil, that Sabrina and Castlevania launch. So
yeah, Daredevil is the day I get back. So that would have been like that we're already booked up doing catch up on stuff that we need to do.
Yes, lots of DC
for
shows
that weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. Amongst other things, I've got to catch up on the stuff that I'm missing that you can watch during the week. So yeah, it's not happening.
Mm-hmm. So next up, we got a new trailer. We already did a date for this, of course. I just mentioned that Sabrina's coming at the end of the month, but we got a new full trailer for that because we got a teaser trailer maybe a month or so ago, something like that. But this is the full 2-minute trailer with a bit more plot and tone and all the rest of it. And this trailer, the first half of it's very light-hearted, it's very jovial, almost feels like, wait, is this really doing the whole creepy horror side of Sabrina? It doesn't feel like it, it's doing all this cheery shit. And then it takes a dark turn, and it's like, no, there's a darker side to this, and we get the more evil, sinister side with whatnot. How did you feel? What did you think of the trailer?
I'm mixed. I think it's a very well edited trailer.
Sure.
Absolutely, the presentation of the trailer is impeccable. I'm torn on the tone. I don't know if I like it or not. Like the first half, all the teen stuff wasn't working for me in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got into all the creepy stuff. I'm like, okay, I like this a lot more, but you've still got the song playing and giving me the kind of almost the fun tone to it. And I'm not sure how much that's going to translate to the show because I wasn't feeling that sort of tone quite as much.
Do you know what I think it is? I think they were playing up because the song they've got is really cheery, right? I think they're playing up because they want the turn to the dark side to have that jolt of like almost a twist for people who weren't expecting a darker Sabrina show, right? I think that's what they're going for. I think they're playing up. I don't think it'll be that concentrated and bubbly in the show itself.
Maybe not quite as much. Like I said, it could be just a trailer.
Yeah.
It could be. But if that's the tone throughout, I don't know if it's going to be for me.
I don't know. It depends. I don't think... Like I say, I think the trailer was going for its own style rather than being completely representative of what the actual tone is episode to episode of the show.
I agree because, like I said, it's a well put together trailer. Clearly going, oh no, it's a production.
The back half of the trailer, I think, is far more indicative of what the show is, I think, than the first half. I think the only time you might feel this is in the first episode before they maybe do... They might do the same thing in the first episode where the first 10 minutes is like cheery high school life.
I did see some advanced reviews because obviously people have been watching it at New York Comic Con. From what I've seen, the consensus is there's a relatively reasonable amount of that teen stuff in the series because the whole thing, she's torn between the two. And a lot of people feel like the teen stuff just doesn't live up to the other stuff.
Interesting.
So,
I'm looking forward to checking it out, though. The darker stuff is quite interesting. There's a joke at the end where Zelda kills Hilda, but Hilda comes back from the grave. So it seems to be a common thing that she'll kill her sister. I don't know. I'm down for the dark humor. We'll see where that goes, but
we'll see. Yeah.
No. I like the trailer for the most part. I will agree it's maybe a bit too bubbly in the first half, but
yeah, I liked it more than anything else I've seen though from the show. So I mean, it's moving in the right direction for me.
I think it might strike a unique tone, perhaps, because it's mixing these things together. I think a trailer's a bad way of getting that across because you can't have the different.
It very well might be. I mean, I think especially TV shows, I think it's harder to capture that in a trailer.
Yeah, I'm not just saying this, but I think the biggest problem it's got is, when I think mixing teenage life with a darker magic and horror side, there's one thing I
You
think
get a hit
of.
television show, don't you?
You get a hit television show by the name of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and the most difficult thing I think for me watching this is going to be it has to separate itself enough that I'm not just comparing it to that every
Get its own identity.
2 minutes. Yeah. So if it's going for something quirkier than Buffy, then cool, because then it has the quirky kind of vibe.
Yeah,
it's going for.
or alternatively something a bit darker, because it looks like it could lean into that a bit more than Buffy really did.
Oh yeah, in the comic they try and marry, or Aunt's try to marry her off to Cthulhu. So if we're going to get that, I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, I know the whole thing is okay. Sell your soul to the devil, right?
Yeah.
Sign it over in exchange for magic powers. So I mean that's already relatively dark.
Yeah. No, knock out the park or not, I'm excited to see what it is. I'm excited to
Fair enough.
see where it goes. So, will the quality be up there to where I'm praising it, as I'm watching it, and by the end I'm like, no, that was a great first season or not, or whatever. Either way, I think it'll be interesting.
Well,
to see
we'll
how
find
it works
out in about it. We'll know for sure within a month.
Yeah, in a few weeks' time. So. Next up, we got a trailer for American Gods Season 2, which is just coming sort of sometime 2019. They're not being too specific.
Yeah, when they finish filming.
Yes, and it looks very slick, as American Gods did. Very, very pretty visually. It's hard not to have all the troubles behind the scenes in your head, though, as you're watching this. And it's trying to look very confident, and all I can feel is this is a face, this is a front.
Yeah, do you know what is weird? I think this is a better trailer to show to sell the show on a concept than anything for season 1 ever was. The whole idea. Okay, no, we got the journey, we got the war between the new gods and the old.
Yeah, because the first season was kind of hiding that for as long as it could. Like I was kind of picking it up as it was going along, but it definitely wasn't saying that's the premise of the show.
It very much is the premise of the story overall.
Yeah, but it wasn't doing that in season 1.
Trailer,
it was sort of slowly unveiling it as it went on.
It kind of just about got to it by the end. But this trailer was like, no, this is what the show's about. And I think it was a much more confident trailer for that.
It's funny, because I've seen shows where, it doesn't really reveal what the show is really about until the second season or whatever. I've seen that in quite a few shows. Fringe is one that comes to mind, where what the show is really about doesn't really kick in until season 2. But with that one, I can almost buy that, well, they had to sell Fox a procedural show with, a case-by-case
whereas
thing.
American Gods was never doing that anyway.
Yeah, so this feels like a weird choice to me, but it just felt like they were almost stalling until season 2 for some reason.
Kind of, yeah.
And I don't know why. As someone who thought the first season was good, but not great, I'm seeing more of the same in the trailer. I mean, sure, I agree that it's setting up the premise better than the first season was, but nothing about it was making me think, oh, I actually care about all these gods now.
It doesn't look anything like crazy different to what we got.
Yeah.
It looks like I say, more of the same, but just a better sales pitch.
Yes. I'm not a big, oh God, what's his showrunner that left? That leaves everything.
Oh, Fuller.
Thank you. I'm not a big Fuller guy, and I think his influence is still kind of there, and I don't know.
That's fair.
I
will say though, if someone wasn't sure, someone was like, "Oh, shall I watch the show?" Regardless of what I thought about it, like quality of yes or no, and they went, I don't really know what it's about, and I was like, okay, here's a trailer. I would show them this trailer, even if they haven't started season 1. This is the trailer I'd show them to go. This is what the story is overall.
Yeah, and then go back and watch season 1 after you've watched this trailer. Yeah, so that's coming. I won't say I'm not excited. I am very apathetic towards American Gods season 2.
I'm actively concerned given the trouble. I want it to be great because I like the first season more than you do.
Mm-hmm.
But I have an attachment to the book already, so I want it to get into that stuff and really go with it and pull it off. But with all the troubles, I'm just concerned it's not going to happen.
Yep. Next up, we got a teaser trailer. This also didn't have a date. This was The Boys. This is Amazon Prime show. It's an adaptation of the comic book.
You're slacking in your order in here.
Why?
Because you really should have had the other one linked to Gaiman next to this.
Tough.
This is shoddy.
Tough.
But fine, we'll do the boys, whatever you say.
I put it here because I had to move it from lower down because I had some news that's connected to it, so that's going with it. So I put it at this bit. Look, just don't give me a shite, all right? You've got that to look forward to. You've got that to look forward to later on. So yeah, The Boys is the Garth Ennis comic, which has been adapted for Amazon Prime. Carl Urban, notably, is in the cast. He's one of the titular boys. Yes. But we got a teaser trailer. We got a teaser trailer that is different from a lot of teaser trailers, and I actually kind of like this. I like when a teaser trailer is not just like a cut of quick scenes. It's actually, here's an idea. Here's like a little bit that gives you a sense of something.
So it gives it a little identity.
And we actually get what's her face, Elizabeth Shue from Hollow Man, Karate Kid, Back to the Future. Right, we get her. She's much older in those now than she was in those movies, admittedly.
Obviously, yes. That's how time works.
Yes, those were a very long time ago, but that's where I know her from. She's like the head of this company that basically funds the superheroes in this world, and she's like selling. This is this is the Seven, and you know it shows you these different actors in these cheesy superhero outfits, and they're kind of walking through the streets, helping people out, and they're teaching people resuscitation, and things like that. Just all sorts of crazy little shenanigans. I think I vaguely recognise one of the actors, but not to any great extent. But these are the Seven, right? And I was like, yeah. So be with us. It was basically a propaganda piece, or either marketing piece. Yeah. It depends how you look at it. Like it's a marketing piece how it's sold to us, but at the same time, I could see it being propaganda depending on how tied to the government this is. Like, do the government want these Seven? Are they the Seven that are
That's fair. It felt like a private company, though, from what I got here.
Sure.
Like oh yeah, we're the ones doing all this. Almost like here, they're almost the Seven are adverts for the company.
But then you see the people watching this on TV, and the camera just cuts to the titular boys. One of whom is not a boy, actually, but it's just the main group of characters, including Carl Urban, and they all just give the TV the finger, and then it cuts to the title, The Boys. So it gives you a bit of tone. It gives you it's going to have a sense of humour.
Yeah, a bit tongue in cheek.
And the music kicks in as well, which is also very upbeat. So it gives you a sense. I mean, it doesn't necessarily give me a sense of, like, I've always thought of this. I've never read it, but I've always assumed it's a violent comic. I don't know if that's true.
I've always had that assumption as well.
So I'm expecting when because there's a group of people who go after superheroes because they know they're actually corrupt or whatever, right? And they go after, and I'm expecting them to beat the everlasting shit out of them. But I don't know if that's true. That's just my expectation.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Because Garth Ennis is pretty. Because Preacher's a pretty graphic comic.
He can be pretty extreme.
Yeah, not that he's drawn it, of course, but he's
not gratuitous, but over the top.
Yeah.
Like,
fun, violent.
To prove a point, satirically over the top.
Yes. So,
but I thought it was a pretty fun little trailer. It had a little identity to it. Give me a little thing. Okay, I'm down for this.
It told me there's a group of people against the superheroes, and that's pretty much it. It gave me a sense of humour. It doesn't tell me exactly why they're after the superheroes. It doesn't tell me even that they're hunting them. I just know that from knowledge. But it gives me a sense of a couple of things. But it leaves me with enough mystery that I'm like, okay, I still don't really know what it's about yet, but I'm sure future trailers will fill me in.
I thought it was a solid first showing, rather than like you get some things that you say that are just here's a bunch of quick cuts, and you get nothing out of it because you're like, okay, there's stuff there.
F Batman. Get that.
Do you know what? Because I don't know, you might actually be about to say this. Go on.
Well, I've got a bunch of Titans news later. You don't have to bring out a Titans thing up just now.
Oh, okay. We've got Titan stuff later. I'll save it.
Oh, there's tons of
DC. It's not news. It's just a tidbit.
Oh, sure, but there's tons of DC stuff coming up later.
I'll wait till Titans.
Wait till Titans. Titans has got things to reference. There's a new trailer for that
something that'll make, if you haven't seen it already, will make you a little bit angry about the show already.
I think I know what this is. I think I saw this. So the other news that came with this is that at New York Comic Con, which again is going on right now, Simon Pegg came out on stage during their thing, and he is going to be in the show, and that's cool enough as it is. Obviously, he's like a famous nerd, right? So big deal to have him in your thing. But more so, I didn't know this. He is going to play the father of a character called Huey, and what's interesting is that the character of Huey was inspired originally in the book by Simon Pegg. So he's playing the father
Oh,
of the character inspired by him. So that's neat.
well, that's cool.
Uh,
It's like with Marvel movies, Nick Fury, how they did the Ultimate version, which was the what we recognize as Nick Fury now, and when they were drawing him, they're like, yeah, let's base him off Sam Jackson, and then obviously he got cast. Like they went, oh yeah, can we get him?
oh sure,
It was like
yeah.
that two-way street. It's the same sort of thing here.
No, that's fun. That's fun. So yeah, that's the boys. Where's your hype gauge on this at the moment in terms of, or interest gauge, maybe a better word, because I imagine you're hyped for it, but
It's gone from very little interest beyond. I mean, sure, it's an Amazon show, and I'm vaguely familiar with the property. So, but pretty like a 1 or a 2. Like, I mean, I don't really care. To, okay, I'm willing to see more. Like 3 or 4. Like, I'm not excited. I haven't seen proper footage yet, but I don't really know what it's going to be. But I've got a sense of tone. You've got a strong marketing.
I think your scale's broken here.
Why?
Because you started at 0 as if that's where... I feel like your baseline should be 5 because that's indifference, right? And then you go up or down depending on... I would say you start at a 5 because you just... I'll give it a chance, sure, because it exists. But you're not negative about it, you're not positive about it.
I'll be honest, in my mind, I was going from 0 to 10, but it would have gone into minus if I really was like, nope, don't want anything. So, I mean, sure.
So, your logic's kind of the same. But because I was thinking you start at 5, so now I'd be like a 6.5 or a 7 for this. Starting at 5. Leaning into the positive. Right? Let's make this a thing. We've got a lot of shows coming up here that are coming up soon. And
okay, fine.
We're gauging.
Yeah, I'd probably agree. I'd have gone from like a 5.5. There's just residual interest based on I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, actually, I've thought of a fun...
And then it's gone up a little bit.
We're going to do a thing after we've got through all these trailers and dates, by the way. I've got a fun idea.
This is not going to be fun, is it? Have we not got enough news to get through without you throwing in fun ideas?
There's always time for fun. Shut up and enjoy your fun. Your scheduled fun. Now, next up, we got a trailer and a premiere date for Origin. This is the YouTube premium show. It's a science fiction show. It's coming November 14th, so this is relatively soon, just over a month.
We saw a teaser for this at some point, right? Because it seems too familiar.
Yeah, we got a teaser for it. Tom Felton is in it with an atrocious American accent, might I add.
Yeah, because the link I assume you're going to provide is the one that we watched, and it starts and ends.
Obviously!
Yeah, I'm just going to say, well, I don't know, you might not have written it down and gone, oh shit, I better find that, and search for it and you get a different one.
Yeah, can I just say how much I hate the trailer for Origin starts now.
Yeah, you have that, and then you have a little bit at the end, and it's Tom Felton in his normal voice. And I'm like, okay. And then you go in and you get that horrible accent. I'm like, damn, he almost... Did he do an accent for Rise of the Planet of the Apes?
Do you know?
I can't.
I don't think he did. I feel like if he did, he was so bad at it. There was only a couple of lines where it kind of showed that he was even trying to do an accent. For the most part, he just had his voice. I think. I can't remember though.
Yeah. See, do you know what the worst part is? I don't even blame him for this because, all right, he can't do the accent. Just don't do it. Rewrite it. Just like, right, okay, we'll tweak it. If it's not going to work,
especially given the sense I got from the trailer is that his nationality is probably not a factor at all in anything. Doesn't make a difference if he has a different accent. I doesn't like it because the plot of this is very much that a group of people who all have shady pasts in one way or another agree to go to this other planet to start a new life, and part of the appeal is that their histories get wiped and they're completely new people when they arrive there. But along the way, something attacked the ship and a lot of the people fled and they were still asleep. So they wake up, they're kind of alone for the most part on this big spaceship in space, no way to control it, and there's something on board that's dangerous, and that's kind of what it is. I'm also going to take this moment to tell you who's directing the whole thing.
I feel like I should be worried. Go on.
Paul W.S. Anderson is directing the whole thing. Who, if you don't know, he did like 4 or 5 out of the 6 Resident Evil films. And as a fan of Resident Evil, the game series, he is basically my arch nemesis because of that. But on top of that, he's just a really bad director who's done very little worth any merit ever. So
yeah, you get 2 ex-Harry Potter cast members.
Who's the second one?
Oh, the woman, the main woman. She was Tonks in the Harry Potter movies. She was also in Game of Thrones, which people probably recognize her more from. She was Osha.
Who the hell was Tonks?
She's the one who can shapeshift a little bit.
She
was in like movie like 5. I want to say she starts in 5. She changes the color of her hair a lot. Shapeshifts a little bit.
Yeah, I've forgotten all this.
It's a thing. Yeah,
it's all gone. I don't. Honestly, the trailer doesn't even look that good. I mean, I like the premise that it's typically doing because I like sci-fi, but nothing in the trailer itself. It looks a little bit cheap here or there. Some of the CG is a bit rough. The acting, particularly the accents, aren't great. And then you've got Paul Anderson directing. Like, I don't even like the whole thing looks like a write-off to me.
I think it's weird you say it looks cheap. Sometimes it looks cheap. Sometimes it looks pretty good.
The stuff in space look. I mean, the stuff in Earth when there was like drones and cars and stuff. That stuff looked good. A lot of the exterior shots of the ship, though, I thought looked really rough.
No, I agree with that. It's kind of a mixed bag, and I'm wondering. I mean, could it still be slightly unfinished and be polished up? Seems a bit late for that at this point. I don't know, but I don't know if I care enough to watch it.
I'm just luring the cat in because he was standing there and not coming in.
Oh shit! That speaking of cats, that reminds me.
Yes.
In the Sabrina trailer.
Oh, you see the cat? Yeah, see him.
You do. It looked really bad. It was this, it's this weird CG. I didn't think it looked good.
I never noticed that. I just remember the cat jumping down.
No, there's a shot where it's like lying on the grass.
Oh right, okay.
And it's only there for like a couple of seconds. This shot, and it didn't look great.
Well, the puppet in the original show wasn't that great either. I loved it. If he's talking, it's fine.
But, part of the charm, right? Here, it felt at odds with the style, which didn't look cheap.
All right. Well, I didn't notice. I'll have to go back and look at it again. So I won't fight you on it because I can't. Where are you on Origin then? What's your gauge?
From the 5, like a 3. I don't know. I don't really care.
I'm at 2. I'm at the point now where, given that we don't typically have done YouTube shows in the past, I don't think this is the one that's going to make us start doing YouTube shows.
No, I don't either.
No,
especially not this time of year.
If the Karate Kid one was going to get me on board, I don't think this one is.
Even the I can't remember what it was called. The one that was based on Jumper, but it had a different name, obviously.
Oh yeah.
I thought that looked better than this, and obviously we didn't bother with that.
All right, moving on then. This is switching over to sci-fi. You did a show called Nightflyers, based on a novella by George R.R. Martin. We've been hearing this for a long time.
Wait, hang on. Are we finished with trailers?
No, there's more trailers after this. Like I said, some dates, some trailers, they're mixed in.
Okay.
I warned you this. This is exactly what I warned you at the start.
I know. I forgot because you should have ordered them better.
Shut up. Look, this is how we're doing it. So Nightflyers is got a date now. It's coming on December 2nd this year, of course. And what's notable about this is that they're doing something that they're doing with Channel Zero this month as well. Is that they're putting all the episodes up at the same time, binge style, on the day the first one airs. And they're airing them daily. With the exception of, there's a little break. You're getting 5 in a row. Episodes 1 to 5 will start on Sunday, December 2nd, and will air through Thursday. And then the back 5 will then start the following Sunday in there. So there's a few days off in between the halfway point.
God damn it, sci-fi, you're killing me. It's not like I said, it's not the first time they've done this. I've watched them do the Ascension was like a 6-hour mini-series they did over 3 nights.
Between this, Channel Zero, and then the final season they did of it's not Magicians. No, it was 12 Monkeys. Final season of 12 Monkeys did the same thing.
They burned that one through, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, see, that one I felt like they were burning through because they just wanted to get it over with. Whereas it's weird to do it with like a new thing like this.
Yeah.
So clearly they want to experiment with it, and that's fine. But
God damn it! I hope we're not that busy then. We're not quite far enough in to know the December schedule yet.
No. January's looking much busier. More on that in a minute. But December, as far as we know, is not too bad so far. But Netflix could eat the lunch.
It could, yeah.
It was. There was actually a new trailer that came with this as well, but we've already covered a couple of trailers for this, so I never put it in. But
That's
yeah,
the point. Have you remembered about the other Netflix thing that's in December?
yes. Don't question
No,
me.
you haven't.
I have. I've got it. I've got it down. Jesus Christ! You stop questioning what's coming up. If we get to the end and I've not mentioned something, then you can
Look,
do all your shite.
That one was a specific question because I know, given what it is, a lot of your regular sources kind of forget about them.
Maybe I don't have what I've listened to talk about then. I assumed I thought I knew what it was, but maybe not.
Uh,
There's something else Netflix in December. I know that much.
Okay, we might be on about different things.
Yes, we
We'll
might.
find out.
Yes. Nightflyers, just to remind you though, Nightflyers is set in the year 2093, based on Martin's novella, follows a team of scientists aboard the Nightflyer, the most advanced ship ever built. As they embark on a journey to find other life forms, their mission takes them to the edge of the solar system, and to the edge of the insanity. to the insanity, to the edge of insanity. As they realize horror.
Try that again.
Their mission takes them to the edge of the solar system and to the edge of insanity. As they realize true horror isn't waiting for them in outer space, it's already on their ship.
Okay.
There you go. The next thing that's got a date, you remember Project Blue Book. This is the Robert Zemeckis produced UFO drama, which is going to be on History.
Yes.
We got a trailer for it a while ago, actually. Aidan Gillen, I think, is in it, if I remember correctly. This is coming on January 8th. This is Tuesday, January 8th. That's going to premiere. So January content starting to trickle in.
I'm kind of scared for January already.
Mm-hmm. So that's Project Blue Book. So it's based kind of on the true stories of, like, you know, UFO sightings and stuff, but I'm sure it's going to be heavily fictionalized.
Yeah. Do you want to know one of my only redeeming things about January? It's typically my quietest period for work.
Oh, great.
Where I get away with doing the bare minimum. So we might actually have time for all this stuff.
Speaking of January, Star Trek Discovery Season 2's got a premiere date of January 17th. And that is going to be introducing Spock and a bunch of other stuff. We had a trailer for this before. There was a new trailer as well, actually, showing off Spock. We left that out because we'd already covered a trailer for this again. We had a lot of trailers to talk about. But that's coming in 17th of January.
Did you look at the picture of Spock?
He got a beard. I saw his beard.
Yeah, he's got a beard. He's got a right mop of hair.
Yeah. Young rebel punk Spock.
Yeah. Kind of the hair. I mean, it's like a Zachary Quinto Spock, but a bit thicker. That's how I'd describe it.
And then next up, we got a premiere date for, and this is actually quite early for a Netflix show, but we got a premiere date for The Umbrella Academy, which is coming February 15th from Netflix.
That is very early.
Yeah. They actually phrased this as it's been delayed, so I think it was originally meant to be out before the end of this year, so now it's coming in February, so day after Valentine's.
Okay.
So, you know,
I didn't realise it was ever coming this year.
Yeah, they didn't put out a trailer for this, but they did put out character posters if you want to go look them up. And I'd forgotten Ellen Page was in it because she was in one of the posters. Oh shit, it's Ellen Page. So go look it up. Also based on a comic book, of course. This one is, as is the next thing. Oh,
I was to say, I think they did show a trailer at the event at the Comic-Con, you know, at the panel.
We've just not seen it online.
We've just not seen it yet. So, I mean, we can maybe expect it soon, though.
But yeah, so also based on a comic book, this one coming from Sci-Fi is Deadly Class, based on Rick Remender's comic. That's got a new trailer as well, which we had a look at. And that is coming January 16th. This is a day before Star Trek Discovery premieres. So, yeah. How were you feeling about Deadly Class trailer?
I think I just summed it up.
I'm not like, it looks okay. Like if we're using the number scale again, and we're starting at a 5 as being in the middle, I'd say I'm still kind of at maybe at 5.5. I've maybe just slightly incremented into positive.
I'm down a little. That's kind of cheap.
That's fair. Yeah, I can see the cheapness. But you have Benedict Wong in there. He's good.
You do. Benedict Wong is good.
Has a bit of an attitude, but sci-fi shows can be hit and miss, and they like to cancel things too early. So, you know, I don't like to get too hyped.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
You just have to hope that Amazon comes in and saves their ass, because praise Bezos, expanse lives. Moving on. We got a trailer for Good Omens, which is what you were looking for earlier after talking about American Gods.
Yeah, the logical place to put it.
No, I thought I'd put it at the end.
Well, then you definitely missed something that I've got from Netflix.
What, with a trailer?
There was a little teaser trailer, but I didn't watch it yet. But yeah,
Okay.
I know it because I had a date, and it was something that we've spoken about in the past, and I've been interested-ish in.
I have no idea. You spend far too much time trying to point out what's being missed here. You really do. You drag it down the tone of the show.
I want to highlight your flaws so everyone knows that next week when I'm not here and all the shit that you miss, I've got to make up for it. Like, because you're bound to miss shit next week.
Yeah, but I'll have to rush so that you're here to record next week. I have to. Next week I can take my sweet ass time until I'm ready. Until I know I'm ready.
You could.
Good Omens trailer. Martin
Yes.
Sheen and not Martin Sheen. Martin Sheen's Charlie Sheen's dad.
Yeah.
What's Sheen's this? Michael Sheen.
Michael Sheen. There we go.
There you go. There's a Sheen. There's a Sheen.
I'm just going. It's an M Sheen.
Yes. David Tennant, of course, as well. This is a Neil Gaiman-based book, and it is a demon and an angel teaming up because the apocalypse is coming, and neither one want the apocalypse to happen. How did you like the trailer?
I thought it looked pretty fun.
I'm mixed on it.
Oh yeah.
I'm mixed because I'm looking at this and I'm going, yeah, this looks like it's from the same guy who did American Gods, and I'm not enthused by that.
Fair enough. I know Gaiman was a lot more involved in this than he has been on anything else TV wise.
Okay.
This is a book that he wrote with Terry Pratchett, who obviously died a couple of years ago. And basically, Gaiman was talking about in an interview this week how he basically wrote all the episodes for this. He was involved show running on like a day-to-day basis, and he said he'll probably never do that again. It was only for this because basically he goes, because my dead friend asked me to, and I thought I probably should.
That's nice of him. I don't know. It's something about a lot of Gaiman's concepts just don't sit with me. Like I just the idea of a god and an angel teaming up. It sounds like the start of a bad joke rather than a premise for a TV show to me.
See, that's the fun. Is how do you take a joke premise and turn it into something cool?
Yeah, I'm just not inherently interested in that. But I mean, I can't deny I don't like the cast or anything like that. I mean,
I see what you mean. I can see the Fuller-esque fingerprints. I don't think he's actually involved.
I don't think he is, but I'm getting a similar tone, this similar vibe of godlike beings on Earth, and
I would not be surprised if Gaiman is kind of helming this more so. He learnt stuff from Fuller on American Gods and is applying that to this.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. It's a personal taste thing more than anything else, but it's just not, the premise isn't wowing me. Obviously I'll try it, like, I mean, it's an Amazon show, we'll look at it, but
yeah.
But I'm not like super excited about it. I'll see how it lands. So that was the last of the trailers, at least that I've got. Connor's about to wow me with this one that I've missed.
Yeah, this is one because I even mentioned it to you earlier in the week that, that's got a date. And you were like, oh, cool. And so I thought you might remember. And I say your usual sources don't have it because it's a foreign show. And, you know, even the ones that we like 3%, don't get picked up on a lot of your sites, which is why we always forget to put it in the news.
What foreign show got a date this week?
Diablero.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is the Mexican one.
Yeah, it's a Mexican horror TV show.
Yes, the premise, I'll just read Netflix's, one sentence one here that it has, is a young priest enlists the help of a demon hunter and a paranormal expert to search for a kidnapped girl in the underworld of Mexico City.
Yeah, I'm down to try this, because we were looking at upcoming Netflix shows and this name stuck out to us for the premise, and then, yeah, it got a date this week. See, the thing is, I was trying to think of things that were getting a season 2, and I was like, we didn't get a dark announcement. I'd have noticed a dark announcement.
No, you'd have noticed that.
He's talking through his shite.
But you were in the ballpark of going to foreign.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is coming December 21st.
December 21st, so just before Christmas.
Which is usually the Traveller's kind of slot.
Yeah, but Travelers could be a different slot this time because
Could be.
there's a Netflix only show this year. So I could see that in like January, February this year, or
It could
next
be
year,
later. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Next season.
Yeah, this season.
Yes. So that's the thing. So all the things we just talked about: Good Omens, Deadly Class, Umbrella Academy. I'm going to leave out season 2s. Right. I'm just looking at the new shows. Nightflyers.
Hang on. I'm not going to remember all these. Let me jot them down. So we had Good Omens. Because I know you're going to ask me to order them here, so I'm not going to be able to. Because you've got them all in front of you, and that's good for you. Right. Good Omens, Deadly Class,
Umbrella Academy,
yeah,
Nightflyers,
okay,
Origin,
yeah,
The Boys, and Sabrina. Right. Right?
Okay.
So I want you to order them as per your hype scale.
Okay. I want to put in just a clause first.
Yes.
That I don't think I can count Umbrella Academy because I've seen nothing. It seems really unfair.
Well, okay, you don't want to rank it, but I still want a number off you. What's your scale number for that? Just based on what you
5.
know.
I've not even seen these posters.
That's fine.
Yet.
That's fine. You can give me a 5. I think it's something because you can check in this. I think this may be something you could think about as we go forward. Is because we always talk about does something move the needle, right? And we could literally have a scale and say like, no, yeah, it moves the needle a couple of points. I'm actually into this now, or I'm not. It's went down. Now I'm dreading it. Like, so
yeah, okay.
But okay, rank the other ones then. What were you putting at number 1?
Number 1, it's probably Good Omens. That was working for me.
All right. Okay.
Number 2, The Boys. That had a really unique thing going for it.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 is where I'll put Sabrina, which is probably at like a 6.5 now. But given that it was at a 5.5 before this trailer, it's getting there.
The needle was moved. It moved the needle.
No, like I said, this is the best thing I've seen from it yet. I'm still not like, oh, okay, I'm in. But it's better.
This is a segment I'll recall henceforth as the needle, right? Go on.
Okay. So after that, that's probably where Nightflyers is kind of sitting with Umbrella Academy, where I know I've seen the trailer in the past, but I don't really remember it.
So basically what you're deciding now is which one's at the bottom, Origin or Deadly Class?
They're both pretty even, sitting at like a 3. Maybe a 2.5.
Origin has to be lower. Come on, the Origin. That is just.
Yeah.
That's more proven to be shite.
No, it is. It is. Yeah. I'll say Deadly Class at a 3 and Origin. I'll go down to the 2.5.
Yeah, for me, I'd probably put Sabrina at number 1, and I think part of that's because it's the one that's out closest, so it's just inherently more exciting. But then I'd put The Boys because, like I say, I think they had the best showing teaser wise. And then it's like, I think then it is Did you say Nightflyers? Did you put that in anywhere?
Yeah, I put that in the middle with Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, I think I'd probably put those two together as well, but then I'd put Good Omens underneath those two. Because for me, Good Omens is kind of almost working against my taste. So that's kind of starting almost like a 4, because it's just, despite the quality and talent, it's working against
Whereas,
me.
If nothing else, Nightflyers is already just inherently more your sort of thing on concept alone. Yeah,
it could end up sucking, but like at least in concept.
Yeah.
But Origin just looks terrible, and I'd put Deadly Class. That's probably actually about the same as Good Omens for me. Actually, it's probably in that kind of range.
Fair.
But it's for different reasons.
With Nightflyers, I know we've watched footage a good while ago now. I don't really remember the footage itself, but I remember thinking it looked all right.
Do you know what I think is interesting about a lot of these shows we're talking about is I feel like a lot of them have been in the works for a long time. Like more than I expect a TV show to be like gestating before we actually get to it.
No, you're right. It feels like we're kind of moving into that period now where, like movies where you'll get an announcement and then 2 years later you'll see something.
Which is weird because normally I expect it to be about a year with TV shows, and I think the reason why that typically is the case is because, well, you're going to have to produce it year on year afterwards, so you expect it to be a bit quicker moving. But
it's one of those where it makes sense to me that the first season takes the longest because you got to go through all your principal casting, building all your sets, location scouting, where
deciding
season 2.
Even just deciding what your style of the show is, deciding what the style of direction is, you have to sort of. Whereas we get to season 2, you have a lot of that stuff already kind of mapped out, and you know.
Yeah, sure. You'll probably add some new locations, couple of new cast, but it's nowhere near the scale of what you're doing to start off with.
Well, let's wrap up that section then. That was your trailers and premiere dates, which takes us to about halfway through page 2, and we can move.
I'm gonna have to go stop this and refill a drink relatively soon because I'm gonna need it.
Well, we're on the DC news now because first up we get
bring the passion.
We get casting for Lobo and Krypton. I'll just mention this first. Emmett J. Scanlan, which is not a name that means anything to me, but I got an image of him as Lobo in the makeup and the outfit, which I've got in front of me.
I'm not familiar with him, but I actually have a friend who's worked with him in about a few months ago.
Oh yeah.
Who said he's pretty good. He's very good at doing menacing.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, maybe I'll be all right.
Interesting. He looks the part. Like, I mean, the image of him as Lobo, he looks like Lobo. Like, I can't.
Yeah, I think the image looks maybe a little cheap, but I'm thinking that's probably just the promo picture syndrome, because we've seen the show. We know it doesn't look cheap overall.
I think there's elements of Lobo they have to kind of not use just because it would be too ridiculous to do on a TV show. But like in terms of like the look, the beard, the outfit, like I think he'll look fine walking on his,
Yeah, I agree.
On the set or whatever, but so that was something worth mentioning. We also got a teaser video for the Harley Quinn animated show, and the confirmation that Kaylee Cuoco is going to be voicing Harley Quinn. Of course, you might know her from Big Bang Theory. I think of her first and foremost from a sitcom called Hope and Faith, because she was the teen daughter on that a long time ago.
What I think is amusing is she is the second of the Big Bang Theory ladies to voice Harley now.
What was the first time?
God, I'm forgetting her name. Yeah, the other blonde one. Can't remember her name now, but she did Harley in one of the. I think it was the atrocious Harley movie, the Harley and Batman one from a year ago.
That was awful. Oh dear.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got a teaser video for this though, getting a sense of the humor. It was Harley and Ivy sitting in Arkham in a jail cell. And it was surprisingly kind of funny, honestly.
It was delightful.
It was surprisingly kind of funny. There was a nice dig at the Deadpool thing. Now, it's funny because I think one of the criticisms of Harley Quinn, just in general as a character at DC over the last few years, is that they've kind of been shifting her gradually more towards just being DC's Deadpool. So it's kind of funny to me that their opening thing that they do with her, the show of this TV show, is to just make a joke about Deadpool and say, yeah, we're going to be meta, and it's kind of like Deadpool, but we're going to poke fun at it, and we're being self-aware. Just love with it. And while I wouldn't have necessarily assumed I'd like that, the joke itself, making a crack that Deadpool's animated show, which was going to happen at FX, get cancelled, it was kind of funny. It made me laugh. I didn't expect it.
It is. It's pretty funny. It's self-aware. It's kind of going, hey, that got cancelled, but we're kind of going to fill that void, right? You were looking forward to that. Well, watch this instead.
Yeah. So more when that's falling later. I've got a nice schedule coming up for the DC universe in a minute. But
I particularly enjoyed Ivy just being like they're going to hate it to everything and just being so negative.
I saw people comparing her to Daria. She's basically Daria.
Yeah.
I never watched Daria, but I know what they mean by that.
Yeah, same.
Yes.
This Ivy is my spirit animal.
Well, Joey, else is your spirit animal? Titans getting a second season. That's your spirit animal.
Depression is my spirit animal, apparently.
Titans is getting a second season. Well, here's the odd thing about Titans, though, is have you seen the Rotten Tomatoes page for it?
It's scarily positive.
It's scarily positive. It was bizarre. Is I screenshotted that page and put it on my Twitter and said, either this is just the early reviews that are always kind of uber positive, because typically Rotten Tomatoes scores will start higher than they'll end up, and they'll gradually go down as more reviews get added. Because it's only like 7 or 8 reviews that are on there right now.
Yeah, it's a rule of thumb.
Yeah, but in the chance that this, but even then, this is still starting quite high. Like, you know, you still get a mixed reaction to begin with.
Yeah, it was like 7 out of 8 were positive.
Yeah. So either this is just the LA reaction and it's kind of weird, or this is going to be the biggest upset in recent memory, where the original trailer was just such a misrepresentation of the quality of the show that we were all fooled into thinking it was going to be straight up garbage when it's actually going to be not bad. I hope that's the case. That'd be great. I'd love to be surprised and be like, yeah, this looked good. But I will stand by it, no matter how good this or doesn't end up, as the case may be. That trailer is, in the market in general, all the images they've released are all straight up garbage.
Atrocious.
I'm never going to change my opinion on that.
You know, you may have seen it already, because but something that made me hate it even more going in is what they said about their Batman.
I did hear this. Continue.
Yes, and the reason that he says F Batman is because he really hates Batman. And the reason he hates Batman is because Batman's a killer. And he's made Robin into a killer. They said he's made Robin into an attack dog that he'll just sick on them and kill them for him. And
well, how do you mess up Batman? This is the DC channel.
You've got one job with Batman. Don't kill. That's your one job. God damn it, Jeff Johns. God. You're supposed to know who Batman is.
There's a reason why. I mean, people are like, oh, he killed in the Golden Age comics. Yes, there's a reason why it changed, and that was a long time ago. Oh, he killed in the Batman v Superman. Yes, and that's partly why it's garbage. Not the only reason why it's garbage. There's a lot of reasons why that movie's garbage, but that's one of the reasons.
In that movie too.
Yes, he killed in one of the Batman Tim Burton's. Yes, and I hated it in that as well. It's always bad. It's always a mistake. It's always wrong.
I have long said those movies, the Tim Burton ones, are atrocious Batman movies. But they're pretty decent Tim Burton movies.
No such thing.
And shut up. But I'm wondering if some of the early positive reviews are feeling the same about this, where maybe it's an okay TV show. Maybe it's pretty good. But I feel like surely no matter what, it's going to be an atrocious Titans show.
What is interesting is something that they basically said about Doom Patrol is that the Doom Patrol we see in Titans will not be the Doom Patrol that's in their show, which makes me think, despite the first reports that everyone assumed it was spinning out of Titans, I actually think that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, do you know what's really confusing though about this is on the same day there was comments about how they wanted the Titans to link through to other shows, so they said Beast Boy is the link to Doom Patrol. Like Jeff Johns said that on the same day as this was said, and I'm like, but I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, it doesn't add up. Titan still looks like garbage, but the word of mouth, maybe it'll be better than we think. I don't know.
I'm still getting drunk for the first episode.
Well,
I'm going in. I'm going in as I mean to finish.
I'll see it first, so I can maybe direct you if I think no.
If you're like, do you know what, this is actually all right. Like you see, and if you say this to me and I watch it and it's utter dog shite, I will mail a bomb to your house.
Speaking of all the news for the DC shows, Stargirl, James Robinson has been hired for the writing staff. James Robinson, of course, wrote Starman for many years, worked on a bit of GSA before Jeff Johns did. So he's another comic writer coming on board. Jeff Johns, of course, is the showrunner. That is important to remember. I always forget this. He's the actual showrunner of this show, of Stargirl, which is coming in 2019. And he also, Joe, it's funny, you already gave me my Buffy reference earlier, but Johns handed me one here because he was comparing it to things, and he was saying it's like Back to the Future and the Karate Kid, but with more modern sensibilities, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I think it was another one.
Which was what I thought was weird. He said Buffy and Spider-Man Homecoming. I'm like, really? At your DC Universe panel, you're gonna?
That's okay.
You're gonna say, we're No, I get it. I mean, it's fine. They're all fans.
Yeah.
But it just felt like a weird thing to, like set the room off, right?
I get it. But what I got as well from this is we got an image of like a timetable almost. Very rough. I'm sure it is a little bit variable here or there, but we have a timetable of all the shows coming up over the next year for the DC Universe. Starting with Titans, of course. And it's just a neat graph with blocks representing each show. And it starts with Titans, which, runs through its 12 episodes. And then you get the first half of Young Justice.
Yeah, 13
Outsiders.
episodes.
Yeah. What I think's notable though is the amount of time it's taken up in the graph is not the same size as Titans. It looks like you're going to get 2 a week when it's that show.
Oh, does it?
Yeah,
I hadn't even.
Because it's split in half, but it's 26 episodes, so it should.
You're right, actually.
They should still be the same size as the other shows, and they're only.
You're
half.
right. It did look like a smaller graph. I'm thinking back to it. It did look like a smaller block.
It's not. I mean, it's not even. It's outright half.
Is it?
Outright half.
Obviously,
yeah.
I'm just trying to find it to glance at it. God damn it! I thought it'd be really easy to find in the Facebook group, but people keep posting shit. God damn New York Comic Con.
Well, I'd put it up on the stream, but I don't want copyright to get in the way.
It's fine. I've got it. You're right, because it's obviously Titans is running from mid-October till late December.
Yes.
Young Justice seems to be starting kind of just after that, and running to just into February. So it's only running about 6 weeks.
5-6 weeks, yeah. So it'll be 2 episodes a week, it looks like. And then Doom Patrol starts after that, running from sort of mid to late February to about late May. And then you have Swamp Thing starting right after that, but also the second half of Young Justice Season 3, which will overlap the first half of Swamp Thing. And then when Swamp Thing ends, late August, just hitting start September, that's when Stargirl starts, and that runs to just about the end of the year. Harley Quinn, the animated show, starts about halfway through Stargirl. I think it's notable that the animated series, unless they don't have something ready, I think they will always be doubling up with a live-action show. I think the first time it's not happening because they don't have Doom Patrol ready. They're buffering themselves before the main show's ready. But
yeah, I think basically it's a case that neither Young Justice or Doom Patrol are entirely ready. It's like, well, we can get half of Young Justice out.
Yeah.
That gives us an extra 6 weeks to get Doom Patrol ready, and then that gives you an extra, 3 months or so to get the rest of Young Justice finished.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think that's the reason why Young Justice is on its own. Because Stargirl overlaps with Harley Quinn, and it wouldn't surprise... Assuming something's ready, and possibly Titan Season 2, because keep in mind, Titan Season 2 would already be over a year at that point, because we're starting in early October, and this would be right at the end of 2019, so they'd have like an extra 3 months to...
And we've kind of noticed, we've said it before, that the typical cable Netflix trend is about 15 months now, instead of the 12 that it used to be. Not always, but give or take. So it would fit in there.
So I'd expect that almost. I'd expect that to happen. But it's interesting to see, kind of like we've been assuming, they'll always have something on at 1 a week, or in the case of the animated stuff, maybe 2 a week. Although, yeah, Harley Quinn also should be double the length, right? Because that's also 26 episodes.
Yeah, it's 26. It'll be double length, but it's just airing as one block rather than being split.
Yeah, so like I say, it'll be 2 a week, because it should be, if that's the case, it should be double the size of the other ones.
Yes, which... Given that hit, assuming this sticks, it does say subject to change based on any delays or anything like that.
Yeah.
That hits right when the next season of CW stuff would be starting. Not this year's, next year's.
Oh, Harley. Oh, yeah, you're right.
So we'd have like...
Yeah,
around October.
Maybe
so we'd
week
have like 5
like
CW shows, Stargirl and Harley Quinn, which is 2 episodes running all at the same time.
Easy. Wow, Mike. Yeah. Easy.
Scheduling's going to get fun.
There was also some weird news about Krypton going to DC Universe, but it didn't seem like big enough news that it was moving. It sounds like it's just getting the streaming rights after it's aired. That's what I'm thinking now.
Yeah, I've seen some people talk about this and clarifications.
Yeah.
The best I can tell is Season 1 is going up for streaming like in the next couple of weeks.
Right, okay.
And it feels like, from what I'm seeing, it's going to be a case of it'll go up like a couple of days after the episode airs.
Oh, that's interesting. At
that's
that
what people are saying.
I have to imagine Sci-Fi won't want much more of it, and they'll just let DC take it if they're only getting a couple of days of exclusivity on it before it.
Maybe, yeah.
Goes elsewhere.
Again, maybe that's people just because it's not concrete. Maybe it'll be our end of the season.
Because
we'll have to wait and see.
When I read the headline, it sounded like it was just completely moving. Like, no, this is now a DC show and not a Sci-Fi show. But then no one was making a fuss about it, and I was like, no, this is smaller news than that. Maybe it's just they've got the streaming rights when it's done airing. After the season's finished, it'll go up in DC, rather than Hulu, rather than whatever else. But
yeah, trying to see if there's been any updates on it, but
I don't think so.
No one's done any updates in the last couple of days.
So yeah, lot to digest there. But hey, so we're going to have. Well, Joe, it's good for us though, doing the television for the multiverse podcast with all the DC shows, is that it means that we'll always have one thing in the summer at least. Because right now we just have nothing for summer, and we just have the back season stuff.
Yeah. We're guaranteed. I mean, assuming the sticks, we're guaranteed Swamp Thing next year.
Yeah, so we'll have Swamp Thing plus a Lois and Clark plus a Smallville plus an animated episode of Fly Batman,
which will be Young Justice for the first half of the summer.
Since there's two of them, yeah, I'd agree. If it was only one a week, I'd say we'd do another one as well. But since it's only since there's two of them,
that'll be 2 a week starting in June. So
what's funny is we did that just for time's sake to get through them 2 a week. But it's funny that when it comes back, it'll actually be 2 a week again.
Yeah, that'll be normal for us.
Normal. There you go. All right, we're out of the DC stuff, and we can move into something which does not seem shocking right away, or something that's super relevant to us right away, but I think it's worth bringing up because of the drama that we've had with this show before. We're talking about Lethal Weapon.
Oh, I've seen this. Yeah, okay.
And if you remember, we had a big hubbub, but last year, or earlier this year even, it was the end of the season before, where the Riggs actor, Charlie Crawford, got fired. There was a lot of hubbub about him on set getting violent and angry and almost causing accidents with his directing, because he was directing episodes as well. And Damon Wayans, the other star who plays Murtaugh, basically led the charge of getting rid of him. He wanted nothing to do with him. He wanted him gone. They hated each other's guts on set, and he was gone. And it might have been cancelled after that, but Fox renewed it, and they cast Sean William Scott as the new co-lead. And we had, so it wasn't Riggs, but I'm assuming he's playing
the new not Riggs.
Yeah. And okay, fair enough. You get in season 3, that's all fine. This week, Damon Wayans just casually said in an interview, "Oh yeah, I'm leaving the show. I'm done after the 13 episodes that they've ordered for this season are up. I'm gone. I'm too old. I don't want to do it anymore." And I'm like,
I think he actually said, "I'm too old for this shit," didn't he?
Almost, pretty much, yeah. And what I think's funny about that is, like, obviously Charlie Crawford was doing a lot of unsafe practices. At least that's what it seems to have been the case. Assuming everything's true. He's denying it, but assuming everything's true.
Kind of a dick move to get him fired.
And then leave yourself.
And then I'm going anyway.
Yeah, in 6 months' time. That is kind of weird. Which means the show is probably just going to be cancelled again.
It's screwed.
Because what do you do at this point? Pure Sean William Scott thought he was getting a nice safe gig for a couple of years, and
a little cushy job. Yeah, keep him going.
Just get swiped out from under him. No question.
That prick.
Oh dear. Next up, that's some sad news actually. Chelsea Peretti's leaving Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
This is sad news.
This is sad news, yes. She'll be back for a little bit of season 6, which of course is coming early next year. Which is getting more episodes. That was positive news a couple of weeks ago. We were getting it increased to 16 or something like that, 18 maybe. And she's going to be in for a few, and then she'll be leaving. But she did say, when she posted this news on her Instagram, she did say it doesn't mean she won't ever be back. So it sounds like she'll probably come back for the odd guest spot here or there.
Do you know what I found interesting about this as well? Is she also said, yeah, I won't be, I'm leaving this season, I won't be back regular for any other seasons. Implying that the feeling is that there will be more seasons.
Which, actually, I would suggest that if they thought this was the last season, she might not leave. Like, if she thought, okay, I just need to stick it out for another X number of episodes and it's over, then why not? But I think because she knows that there's a good chance it'll be a yearly job for a while again, so that's maybe why she's opting out.
I think so, yeah.
But and we know she obviously had a kid, because that's the other shame of this, is that she had to take time off because she was pregnant at the start of season 5, I want to say. She was gone for a while.
4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah, however one it was. And I was like, oh shit, we just got her back, for an extended time. So it's a shame. She was really good in the show, but of course it's her choice, obviously. And we will get her back for guest spots, and I assume whenever they have a finale, I'm sure she'll come back for that, and it'll be a treat when she does pop up. She'll be missed, but the show must go on, and luckily that show's not starved for interesting characters.
Yeah, it's stacked with a fantastic cast.
Yes,
top to bottom.
So it's a shame. I like her a lot, but she's got to go and do other stuff. Maybe just focus on being a mum. Maybe that's probably a big part of it. Actually, she's got a kid who's like 1 or whatever. You
see it a lot with actresses, and then they come back in 10 years.
They come when the kids start doing more serious schoolwork and they're just busy a lot more of the time. It's like, yeah, okay, they can go to the toilet themselves now. I can act again.
I feel like we spoke about this recently. I don't know if it was on this or maybe movie news or
yeah,
something?
yeah, we did talk about this. There was an actress who came back after being missing for about 12 years, and then I guess maybe she was just like raising kids or something for a while. And
Yeah, we talk about how, you see it a lot where they'll have the odd job here or there, but it won't be the regular gigs like
they
you
used to
have
have,
here,
yeah.
where, okay, 8 months out of the year.
But then all of a sudden they come back and they're getting regular gigs again. And
they're all
we
over
were
the
just
place,
speculating, but we're thinking that maybe the reason for that, in that one case, whoever, well, I can't remember who it was now, but maybe she had kids, and it was okay. So for the prime of the childhood, when they're, before they become more independent, is when she wanted to be around and be a mother first, I guess. And I wouldn't surprise me if that's a part of her decision. In this case, she didn't specify why she was leaving, I don't think, but it wouldn't shock me if that was why.
Unless she pops up on another big TV show and she's like, yeah, I actually kind of wanted that.
Oh, it was better money, yeah. So better money somewhere else, yeah. It could always be that, of course. We're going for the more, I don't know, the less scheming version.
Yeah, we're assuming that she really loves the show, and she's like, you know what, I'm going to spend time with the family.
Yes.
And not being like, hey, those guys are paying me better, screw you.
Next up, Jodie Balfour, who's been on The Crown, is going to be a regular on the Apple Sci-Fi show, which is from Battlestar Galactica creator Ronald D. Moore. We have a title for this now. This is also part of the news here. Still have no description for the show. Obviously, I keep bringing it up every time it's brought up because I like the guy because he made Battlestar Galactica. But now we have a title. It's called For All Mankind. That's the title.
Cool.
So, yeah. Face it, we're going to be reviewing Apple shows at some point. They keep threatening us with more and more of them. It's going to happen. I've done too many. Speaking of shows, actually, I have no news about this, but there was they started shooting the new Twilight Zone that Jordan Peele's behind for CBS All Access.
Wasn't there a little teaser thing?
Yeah, he did the opening narration that used to be on the show, but it was Peele that was doing it.
Right. Okay.
I'd say it if I could remember it off the top of my head, but I can't. But yeah, this little opening monologue that ended with "You're entering the Twilight Zone." That was how it ended.
Yeah.
So
who's doing that one again?
CBS All Access.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is. So, no nerdy content. Star Trek's going to be on all year. Do you know what? I can't wait till we get the graph for the year CBS Access with all the Star Treks. Just here's your Star Trek show every part of the year.
I think the short treks just started.
Yeah, they're only 15 minutes long apparently.
And
from what I heard.
What was the date for Discovery season 2? I know you mentioned there was a trailer and we mentioned Spock, but did you just say the date?
I did 17th of January.
Oh yeah, I did. Okay, cool.
So I think the short treks finish about then, just
the week before, I think.
So yeah, so that's For All Mankind we're talking about there. That's Ronald D. Moore's new sci-fi show. Next up, this is all casting stuff, by we're in a casting kind of section. Commander Joseph Lawrence from Handmaid's Tale season 2, played by Bradley Whitford. We're going to see him again because he's been up to a regular for season 3. They did specify it's a 1-year contract, so he may not be around for any seasons past that, but he is a regular for season 3, which is cool because I like the actor and his character was interesting.
Not surprising though, is it?
Not surprising.
Given where we ended the last season, we were kind of expecting to see more of him.
Yeah, but it's cool because he was interesting. So
yeah, definitely.
It was definitely a different type of character in that show. Next up, something. Well, this is actually not casting. This is directing, but same thing. It's personnel related.
Shoddy. Should have its own section.
But out of the casting, that was the last casting. That's why we're on a new thing.
I don't know if that's better or worse. You just don't even know what you're doing anymore.
I suppose at the end of the casting, now we've got a couple of things that are kind of on their own, and then we get into the new shows in development, the comedies.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
Miscellaneous.
Hey, you know what? See if you're cheat. I'm skipping this one. You care about this one.
Oh, okay, I know what this is. Let's do it.
No. You have ruined your chance.
Do you know why I'm...
So this episode went bloody long. So long, in fact, that our audio version couldn't be uploaded in one chunk. So because of that, we've decided to just make a clean split so that both versions are in 2 parts. Part 2 is coming up later today. You won't have to wait long. It does have some big news in it for Star Wars, for the new season of Black Mirror, and all the new stuff that's in development from the shows, from the networks and the cable streaming services and whatnot. A bunch of sci-fi stuff from Netflix, for example. So stick around for that. Come back for part 2, and also look out for some announcements at the end of the video. So thanks very much, guys. Have you got any vanilla?